Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to be talking about a little bit of neuroscience today, starting off with what is epilepsy. Let's get into it. Alright, so to get into this little neuroscience journey that I'm going to take everybody who's subscribed here on, we're going to go with something easy, or easy to understand. So, the question is, what is epilepsy? Epilepsy is when you have recurrent seizures and they're over 24 hours apart. So if you have a seizure, one day, then sometimes days later, days to weeks, you have another one, then that is most likely you have epilepsy. And some definitions, they say that it's unprovoked seizures, but most of the time that is not the case. There is usually triggers to go with epilepsy, and that can be anywhere from like photosensitive light, when strobe lights, yeah, that's terrible for some people, but like there are different triggers for it. So hormonal, whenever you get a fever, photosensitive, things like that. There are always triggers for things. And so people have these seizures, whether it's a trigger, whether it's not. Sometimes people don't have any triggers at all. It can have multiple effects on everyone that has it. So you might be wondering, what is the actual definition of seizures? Well, seizures are essentially like overstimulation of the brain. So if you think about like a power surge, and when a power surge comes, it overexcites the circuit boards and stuff of everything in your house, and then the lights go out, or just lights flicker, whatever. Well, that's kind of like what seizures are. So seizures are when electrical activity in the brain, your neurons, get overexcited. So, and this can be, again, trigger or out of nowhere. So you get an electrical impulse, and then the brain either overexcites itself or it inhibits itself. So if you have a large electrical impulse, your brain's gonna do something weird. And it's not just the normal like dramatized seizures that you see on TV. Those are called grand mal or tonic-clonic seizures. And some people do have those, but there are also other types of seizures that one can get from having epilepsy, or just types of seizures in general, Alright, so there are 3 categories of seizures. There is focal onset, there is generalized onset, and there is unknown onset types of seizures. Both the generalized and, well, actually all 3 of them have 3 sorts of symptoms that go along with them, both motor and behavioral kind of stuff. So either they're absent seizures where you just stare off, or they're more of the normal Hollywoodized version of grand mal, or you can just have twitches and stuff for motor. But let's just get into it and start with focal. Focal, you can either have impaired awareness or just awareness during these type of seizures. They can be found in 1 or more parts of the brain. They're usually localized. And like I said, you can have motor or non-motor with these. So absent seizures or kind of, twitching, stuff like that. These seizures are most of the time located in one area of the brain specifically, and again, can be treated differently than the rest of them. So generalized onset is when you have seizures that come from no specific location in your brain, and they're either going on everywhere in your brain, or just they're random when they happen. these seizures can be motor or non-motor, absent seizures with the non-motor, or twitching or grand mal with the other. And with these seizures, there are impaired awareness seizures. So since your whole brain is kind of being messed with, you're gonna have impaired awareness. And then the last one is unknown seizures, or unknown kind of what area of the brain is happening, with them. And these, again, have motor and non-motor, and awareness level can be anything from you're aware to you're not aware what's happening at all. You're essentially unconscious. These are usually the ones that the doctors, if they can't put a label on it, they give you this. So those are the classifications of seizures. So if you go into an epileptic state, you can have any of those seizures, and anybody with epilepsy can have one or more of these types of symptoms over their epileptic journey. Now, diagnosis of these, you have to have an EEG. That is called the electroencephalogram. That is essentially where they put like little electrodes on your head, and they record your brain activity through a certain period of time. So you can get an EEG, you can get an MRI. The MRI is essentially just to find out where it is in the brain, and the EEG can do that too. It's just more along the lines of if it's damage related, they want to have an MRI to see if there's damage related involved with it, so they can have different treatment options for you. Or if it's, not damage related, and the EEG can find out where in your brain you're having these seizures. So again, treatment options can be better. How to treat epilepsy? So they have a saying in the neuro world, and it is no seizures, no side effects. So with the medication in the epileptic world is very diverse, and sometimes your body will handle it well, you'll have no side effects, no seizures, everything's good. But sometimes you can get a medicine, everything goes haywire, you end up having more seizures, and it's just a mess. And then sometimes your medicine could be controlling your symptoms, but you also get the whole load of side effects with it, and nobody wants that. It's a really delicate balance with medication for this disease. There are some people whose seizures are incredibly uncontrollable, even with medicine. And there's other treatments you can do for that. What they can do is if you have generalized seizures that go to both sides of the brain during the seizure, they can do either a hemispherectomy where they take out one side of your brain, or they can just cut so in the middle of the brain there's a bridge of neurons, and essentially what that does is it cooperates the two sides of the brain and makes everything work together. If that is a problem where you have fluctuating seizures on both sides of your brain, you get brain surgery, and they can cut that in half. And I think there is also new technology out there where they can implant something in your brain, almost like what are they called? It's almost like a device that can inhibit the effect of seizures. So when a seizure happens, it can inhibit it. Those are for people though with really uncontrollable seizures, even with medicine. Those are kind of the last resort in this whole world, but it is still an option. I just want to put a little disclaimer out there. This is in no way it's educational, but this is in no way the detailed form of what this is and stuff. This is for educational purposes. This is just how I describe epilepsy. Don't take this by heart. If you want to learn more about epilepsy and everything involved with it, please go to the Epilepsy Foundation. You can just search it up in Google. I kind of forgot the website. I'll link it down below though. If you want to learn more about it, please check on that website, and that explains everything a lot better. I'm not a teacher or anything, so if it's a little bit confusing what I say, sorry about that. But I do encourage you to go on that website and figure it out, because it's an interesting world. Alright guys, I hope you liked this whole talk about epilepsy. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this. Like this if you like this style of video. I will probably do another video related to this, maybe about the actual biology of seizures, but I just wanted to get this first initial background out of the way, and I'm really interested in this sort of thing, so you'll probably be seeing more of this. I hope y'all liked it. Like and subscribe like normal. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.